My ex drove a dagger through my heart when I found out he was cheating on me a month before our wedding, but what hurts even more is that my family drove it even deeper by telling me to give my wedding stuff to my sister because I clearly didn't need it anymore. I was meant to get married on the 1st of February, which was mine and my ex-fiancé's anniversary. We ended the engagement shortly after the new year because he cheated on me. The wedding was initially planned with just my money but was very low-key, and my parents asked if they could contribute some additional money to make the whole thing a bit bigger. By the end, about 60% of the wedding was paid for by me and 40% was my parents' contribution. My ex and I had agreed that I would pay for the wedding while he covered the honeymoon. My ex left me to deal with canceling the wedding since his money wasn't involved, and I turned to my mother and sister for help because I didn't have the mental or emotional capacity to call vendors, venues, and whatever else to cancel everything. My sister is engaged and helped me with a lot of the wedding planning. Next thing I know, my mother and sister are asking me if I wouldn't mind my sister just, taking my wedding. Every part of it, from the venue to the cake, and everything in between. The sole difference will be the wedding dress, and even then she said if she can't buy off the rack, she might have to get mine tailored to fit her instead. I called off my engagement less than 3 weeks ago. I am a effing mess. I reached out to my family to help me cancel the wedding, and my sister is planning to take it over instead. My sister has rung round our family explaining that she's taking over, before she told me this. They are all attending. Her fiancé has contacted his family and given them the date he will be getting married. I found all this out today. She asked me if I was okay with this, like she hadn't already arranged everything. I told her to go F herself. I have until the 23rd to cancel things and get the money back. There are a couple of things where I won't get money back at this stage, but over 2/3 of it is still refundable. The money will be refunded to the card it was paid with, so both my parents and I will get the correct amounts back. Everything is shut right now, but it's the 21st tomorrow. As I've not been in contact with these companies and it's my name on all the contracts, I have full power over this wedding. My sister said she'd pay me back eventually, but knowing her, I'll never see that money again. Would I be the jerk if I rang round everything and cancelled? /relevant comments. Commenter. Your family's horrible for not clearing it with you first. Your wedding fell apart due to your ex cheating on you, and everyone's first thought was to let your sister take your wedding without taking your feelings into account. Dog, that's beyond screwed up. You do you, dog, sorry about your situation. Ops response. When I asked what the F they were thinking, my sister actually said to me, it's not like he died, like cheating was the reason they chose to do this. Commenter 2. So if he had died and you'd been grieving the loss of him that way, she would consider it too rude to take it over? Lol, stupid. Is she shallow in general? Younger or older sister? Ops response. Younger, and generally a bit of a cow. Commenter 3. Asking for info, why not tell her straight up that you will cancel if you don't have a check clear before the 22nd? Ops response. Because she will try and talk me out of it, and I don't care half as much about the money as I do about the prospect of having to go to my sister's wedding. She wants me to be maid of honor, even after I snapped at her, and watch my sister wear what was meant to be my wedding dress to what was meant to be my wedding, and deal with all the invitees who know this was meant to be my wedding barely a month after I called off my engagement. And even in the future, if I ever talk to her again after this, I will have the knowledge that she had my wedding, which is going to make ever having any sort of closure on this whole thing very difficult. Commenter 4. How do they even expect you to attend that? So they expect you to sit through your stolen wedding day, while mourning your relationship, and turn all the money you invested into it into a loan to your insensitive, incredibly entitled, and offensive sister, who will probably never pay you back. Tell them all to go screw themselves. Take the money and go on a trip. Then your sister can make all those calls again, and she can re-explain what she tried to pull without your consent and why her wedding will be on some different day in the future. Ops response. She actually said she thinks it would be good for me. She wants me to go to the wedding as her maid of honor and said if I just get drunk and shag a groomsman, I'll magically feel better. Op clarifies the timeline and situation with the money. I ended my engagement on the 4th of January, then called my sister immediately. During the conversation, I asked her to cancel everything, and she said she would. She told me Mum was helping her and that it was all taken care of. I've gone through everything and done the maths on cancellations. I definitely lost money by them waiting until yesterday to tell me. If they had told me on the 18th, it would have been a full 2 weeks. But having run the numbers, if I make the calls today, I stand to get at least 50%, possibly up to 75%, back. And yes, I already knew my future brother-in-law was disgusting. Honestly thinking about going full no contact. Update 2 days later. I talked to my sister and explained how upset I was and how hurt this made me feel, and she said that this was a good thing and that it would be therapeutic for me to see good come from bad. I said that's really not what it's feeling like on my end, and to me, it feels like I got cheated on a month before my wedding. My sister said she would cancel everything for me and then decided to get married in my dress, at the venue my ex and I picked out together, on my anniversary date, and this did not feel good. I said if she wanted to buy the wedding off me, then I needed payment in full for my 60% by the 23rd, and I wanted to switch out our names on the contracts. She said she was hoping for more of a payment plan, where she paid me back 50% of the 60% I put down in monthly installments over the next 10 months. She wanted to pay me back 5% per month for 10 months. And I still wouldn't get all my money back. I've made calls and canceled everything. Everything was paid for by me, and my parents' money paid primarily for upgrades to the things I'd already bought. The money will be refunded to whoever paid for it, so myself and my parents will all get the correct money back. However, with some, like the caterer, we've lost the deposit entirely. With others, like the venue, they kept part of the money, on average 50%, but some kept more and some kept less, and with some, like the baker, who was a family friend and hadn't started on the cake yet, they completely refunded it. I think the fact that I was open about the wedding being off because he cheated made them feel bad for me and probably made a few of them more lenient on refunds. I didn't just bring it up for the sake of it, most of them asked if I wanted to reschedule. On the whole, I've gotten a little over half back, which is not as much as I thought. The really annoying thing is that I put these cancellations through on the 21st, and if I'd done it on the 18th, a full 2 weeks' notice, I'd have gotten more, but they waited until the 20th to tell me. The dates are now open, the plans are now there. If she wants to rebook everything in her name, she is welcome to. She helped me with a crapton of planning, knows the details better than I do, and she can easily rebook the exact same thing. She'll probably be doing the vendors a favor, considering how close we are to the big day. Some refunds will be instant, some will take a bit of time, the longest is 2 weeks. I'm no longer going on my honeymoon, so once all the refunds have come through, I might book a week away somewhere. Not sure what's happening with my sister/mother/family at large. In total, I would have gotten more back from my sister than I would from the venues, but it would be a year's wait on her repaying me versus a few weeks from the venues. Currently drafting a Facebook post to tell the family what happened without me looking like a total beach. I have a feeling they've already guessed what went on, but there's only one way to make sure. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Definitely book yourself a week somewhere nice. You need it and deserve it. I'm sorry that your ex cheated and that your family are quite deluded about the definition of support at a time like this. Make absolutely sure you book that holiday as soon as possible. And leave your phone at home. Or, if you don't want to do that, don't answer any calls or emails for a week. Just have time to yourself and completely relax. Commenter 2. I'm so glad you canceled everything. The pain is not worth the extra money. Make sure in your post you mention how it was expected of you to hand your wedding over, as I'm sure they have been saying a different story. It's absolutely disgusting that the family who should have been there to comfort you have instead only thought about how they can benefit from your hardship. Please don't let this disappear. What they have done is unforgivable. Keep your distance and surround yourself with people who want the best for you. Editor's note. Op deleted her account sometime after her last update, but considering she canceled everything and went nuclear, I'm assuming this wasn't something reconcilable with her sister and no further updates were needed.